Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
I know, I saw you.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
I saw you. Welcome back into the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine, sitting alongside Tom Vandervoort. And Tom, there's been a lot of talk in this relatively young season about where have all the caution flags gone, where have all the wrecks gone, and you sort of
Long time passing.
You've been giving this a lot of thought, and you think it's really about driver behavior based on our present point system.
When NASCAR introduced the 1 point per position point system, one thing we said when we looked at it mathematically was the penalty for finishing in the back is very severe. You can tell if you look right now at the standings where Mark Martin is, he misses a race, misses a couple races, and is going to miss more, but he's able to hang in the point standings because when guys wreck and finish back in the 40s, it's kind of like they missed the race too. So the penalty for finishing back there is severe. Now, I'm not saying drivers are consciously saying, oh, I can't wreck, oh, I can't wreck, oh, I can't wreck. But the fact of the matter is the incentives are there that risking a lot for 1 point is not worth losing 20 or 30 points over. It will kill your season. Look at Casey Kane. His season it's not done because of the wild card, but in the points, because of bad finishes early on, whether or not they're his fault, his season has been severely injured here.
Yeah,
so the incentives are in place to prevent you from wrecking. It doesn't pay to take risks. Because it just doesn't.
Right. It's about the risk versus reward.
And so the fact that drivers slowly integrate that into their behavior, maybe even not consciously, but you realize over time, like if I wreck here, I'm doing myself so much harm. So to try to get one more point, to go from 10th to 9th for 1 point and risk losing 20, you really got to think twice if you're smart at this at all. And these guys, if they make it this far, they are intelligent race car drivers. They know what they're doing. They understand the incentives. That's been worked in their behavior, into their behavior, in my opinion. And that's why you see fewer risks and fewer wrecks.
And when you take that behavior or that approach to racing and you sort of pile that on top of things like aero dependency, which we've had for several years now at these downforce tracks, that had already reduced the side-by-side racing, reduce the ability to pass, which reduces then the opportunity to get mixed in with somebody and get caught up with somebody. Then you've got sort of this perfect storm.
Limitations to what you can do to the race car that makes everyone kind of running the same speed out there. All those things, I think, have an effect. But if you just look at the incentives in the system, you can't be that surprised because we talked about it when they introduced it. We talked about it when they introduced it. You can't be that surprised that there are fewer cautions, fewer wrecks. You just...
Well, and the other aspect of the point system is that the value from the value of going from 35th to 34th is the same value gained as from going from 5th to 4th, and so that again takes away some incentive to push for that extra position.
Well,
and I know
the closer you get to the front, the more you have to lose, but you don't have any more to gain.
Right, and I know that the drivers will say, oh, come on, we don't think about that. We drive for every position, and I'm sure intellectually that's...
I don't think they consciously think about it.
But it is part of...
It's the system, though.
The required approach to this system, because you know you have your agenda, your super objective is not necessarily to win that race. Your super objective is to get into the chase and win the championship. So your objective might be to win that race, but then there's a bigger picture as well.
There is a bigger picture, and there's always been a fairly severe penalty for bad finishes in NASCAR, but it is more severe now than it has been, and that's why I say don't be shocked if this continues, because that's what the incentives tell me is going to happen.
All right. That's Tom Vandervoort. I'm Stephen Levine. Thanks for watching.